Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Adam. This is HMO4 Gaming. Welcoming you back to the Outer Worlds. In the last episode, we decided the fate of Edgewater. We sided with pretty much everybody, and I still can't remember that button. Oh look, Pravati. I'm just going up the ladder. All right, let's check out the crew. First, we got to get this holographic shroud. Oh, and before I forget, because I'm still new at this, if you like this kind of content, if you're enjoying the playthrough.
I so enjoy watching you sleep for hours on end, Captain. It's quite entertaining the way you drool and whimper.
Lovely. But yeah, if you liked it, please subscribe, hit like, tell me in the comments what you're enjoying so far. If you learned something from the Switch version, let's pick up the holographic shroud. Holographic shroud project a disguise on you and your companions and give you access to restricted areas, provided you have the correct ID cartridge for that area. Restricted areas are off limit to unauthorized personnel and otherwise result in being attacked on sight. 16,000 XP, Jesus. Alright. Anything else? We got a chessboard. What else? Hey, what's in here? Nothing. Just a storage container. So it's just the crew quarters. What's on there? Alex Hawthorne. Oh, I forgot to mention in my previous message, silly me, I'm mailing you a copy of my favorite serial. The Adventures of Singularity Steel. It's about a dashing space pirate with a head of... what? A heart of, well, steel. He's not... bleh. Not exactly board approved, so don't you go showing it around to his other spacer buddies. Okay. Alright, so he just has some... there's... Sentry Saber? I'm not really much of a melee person. Did we, like, steal... the sign? I just noticed that. Did we just steal the Edgewater sign? Adelaide's deserters dreamed of an independent life without board oversight. You taught them an important lesson. Never dream. What? Of course, then, I'm guessing the game is saying it as that, oh, you did a bad thing. You told them not to dream. I was like, I gave them the town. I don't know what they're talking about. Anyway, let's go see what our next mission entails.
I could spend hours reflecting on the secret workings of the universe. Little else in this colony offers such a relaxing pastime.
Why are you sweating so much?
Tell me what's on your mind. I excel at confessional listening.
I'd like to know something about those that I'm flying with. What's your story?
Nothing too out of the ordinary. Just your run-of-the-mill vicar with a violently enthusiastic disposition.
Violently enthusiastic disposition?
That's what my parents called it. I grew up in a pit of a town, much like Edgewater. I was destined to be a laborer like my parents, but I was infected early with a need to solve the equation. My passion didn't sit well with them.
And why were you so passionate about it?
My parents, ironically. They internalized the precepts of scientism like no one I've ever known. They had a pure faith. A faith that brought joy to them regardless of the situation. I envied that. I wanted that peace. I thought if I became a vicar, I could find it. Or at the very least, find out why I lacked it.
But weren't you proud of when you became a vicar at least?
They thought I was fighting the plan, should have accepted my lot. Some people pursue the clergy for power, prestige, but that was not me.
So what's the plan you keep talking about?
The simple version is this. The force which we call the Grand Architect created the universal equation that underlies and defines everything in the universe. Everything flows from the equation, or in layman's terms, the Grand Plan. Is the Grand Architect a consciousness? A natural force? Did it create the equation on purpose? The answers to these questions don't really matter. The equation, the plan, is all that matters. Contentment is found by accepting one's role in the plan.
If you can help but follow the plan, then everything you do is part of it, right?
The plan is not one rigid path. There are a variety of multitudes contained within it. Our paths have variance, but we'll end up adhering to it, whether we like it or not. Some choices make the path smoother, some rougher. You can even go outside the lines, but the further outside you go, it's like an unbreakable elastic band. It will only stretch so far before it snaps back. The further it is stretched, the more violent the eventual correction.
Seems quite trusting you sign on with me without knowing anything about me. I mean, look at my face.
I have run headlong into too many walls in my pursuit of the truth. This book is my last hope, and you were my only hope of getting it translated.
What if the book doesn't have the answers you're looking for?
I honestly don't know what I'd do. This quest has consumed me for the better part of my life. I fear there's nothing else left to me.
It's not good to
What
obsess,
about you?
Max.
What's your story?
I was a colonist on the Hope, a scientist named Wells saved me.
And how did he do that?
He stole my body from the Hope at the edge of the colony and thawed me out.
Well, you do seem different than every other colonist. Let's pretend for the moment I believe you. What are you going to do now?
Help him recover some chemicals he needs to save the rest of the colonists. For now.
That seems a dangerous proposition. Why risk your life now that it's been returned to you?
No family on the Hope.
Oh, I see. You have my condolences.
Tell me again when we picked up that book that's in French?
Baconu, the author, had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to our attempts to decipher the plan. Unfortunately, he was also one of the founders of the Philosophist school of thought, so the book is banned in this colony.
Okay. Any idea where we can find someone who speaks French in this colony?
I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous Philosophist scholar who fled Terra 2 some years ago.
Associate?
He's an expert on Baconu. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony could translate that book, it would be him.
Seriously? Only one guy in this colony can translate French?
The only one I'm aware of. I suppose we could always just ask random passers-by if they are fluent in it.
Hey, I'm the captain here. Only I get to be a smartass.
1,000 pardons, my good captain. I thought we were engaging in witty repartee. Now,
Don't you sneer at
as far
me.
as tracking down this scholar, we should start on the Groundbreaker. It's where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. Great place to pick up a ride to Hephaestus, Scylla, even Monarch. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures.
And how has this simple vicar happened to be such a highly skilled hacker?
Before I transferred to Edgewater, I had a wealth of time to develop certain, secular skills during my years serving a particular penitentiary flock.
So in
I
prison.
meditated, led sermons, provided guidance to the inmates as needed, of course. I also played prison yard tossball and taught myself a bit about computronic security systems.
So we got hardened in the public prison system. Got it. Okay, sounds good.
Thank you, Captain.
I don't need to know more. Max is all the shady, sneaky quests. There's Bacono. Impossible to put down. Order of the Scientific Inquiry of Literature. Okay, this is just some of his books. Oh, what the hell is this? Tossball trading cards. Okay. Heavy. Oh. Like he just has heavy ammo on the floor. I hope you don't mind. This is my ship. What else he's got? Okay, just more textbooks. Journal of Maximilian de Soto. Scribbled on these journal pages are utterly ineligible to anyone except Vicar Max. So he's making a biography of himself. Index of banned literature. Okay, yeah, you can slow that down if you want to read what's on there. It's really nothing important. Sleep. Can I read what this book is? No? Alright. Well, let's go get to the Groundbreaker. Sure, we got really nothing else to speak to. We only have the one crewmate right now. Vicar Max, that's the bathroom. Here we go. Who needs ladders? Because I figure this is basically just like Mass Effect. Every time you get back to the ship or have a new crew member, you want to talk to him. Alright, and let's go see. And we want to go to... I was going to say, where is it? Oh, we're already there? Oh, no, we weren't there. Okay. Welcome to this system map. Here you can see all the planets and systems as well as special points of interest that you may have discovered. Yes, basically that's how you
Groundbraker has
navigate.
approved our request for docking, Captain. You're free to disembark.
I just like how like that prompt came up after I already said let's go. All right, well let's go check out the. Hello, Pravati. I'm guessing you
Hey,
want to
Captain.
come.
I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named Junlei Tennyson.
What about
I
her?
was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff.
Sure, we can head over.
Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth your time. Did you want to talk about something else?
Did you learn your trade from your father? It sounds like you talked to Reed about it.
Mostly, yeah. I lived in the maintenance office near all my life. Mr. Thompson never let me forget how funny that was.
I don't see the humor.
He meant funny as in odd. It's not normal for anyone to do as their parents. You take a vocational test. That decides your schooling and your career. When I tested out for maintenance, everyone figured it was on account of my dad. They were real unhappy with us.
Why are people unhappy about you getting a maintenance job?
Because they were hoping their own kid would get the job and get sent back to Edgewater. When folk go away for schooling, they don't get back to where they begun. Not usually. You go straight to your first job, wherever the company's got an opening.
Isn't it wherever they first began? Not begun? Oh, whatever. You don't have a say in any of that?
I reckon you could say, no thanks, I don't want a job. But then you don't got a job.
Fair enough. One aptitude discernment your entire life?
They're powerful good tests. They rattled off this whole list of names who'd worked on them, with fancy bits hanging off them. Doctors and esquires and the thirds. Even if you don't believe they actually catch what everybody's best at, everybody's got to take them. So at least it's fair-ish.
Uh-huh. But you're actually good at this, and you enjoy it.
Well, I'm good at making things work the way they ought. Not so much at doing such to somebody else's schedule. There's times I'm working deep in the guts of a loader, getting it all running perfect. Then I look up to see it's tomorrow, and I've blown another deadline. Anyhow, I was happy to get back home. I didn't care much for schooling.
Watching Pravati's armor clip through the ship is really distracting, if anyone's noticed it. After school, you move straight back to Edgewater?
Yep, nothing much had changed. Everything was a little grayer, a little dirtier. Dad met me at the shuttle and gave me a big ol' hug. I noticed straight away that he was moving slower and stiffer.
Yes,
Yeah,
you know.
when I squeezed.
Who? Do you know? Did you get time with him after you got back from school?
About a year. I tried to do more of the work so he could rest. His heart gave him pains. Dad never said that he loved me, you know? I knew on account of him showing it. How he'd stay up late to help with my projects or listen to my fretting. Oh gosh. Look at the time. Sorry to bend your ear so long. And I got so much to do before this ship's in decent shape.
And don't say that, because that's dismissing. Alright, and Pravati wants to come with us, so sure. Absolutely. And to the Groundbreaker we go. Alright. And again, just like Edgewater, we're now in another giant place. It's a Switch version, remember? I don't think the lights are supposed to be that washed out, but, you know, it gets its point across. Once it loads up a little bit, it'll be fine once we get a little bit closer. I don't know if Vicar Max's hair was always white. He must have got scared stepping out of the ship. Ooh. Alright. Let's
Smells
keep
like
on going.
grease and unwashed bodies, just as I remembered.
Now, what's this?
That's not the point. This halfwit just knocked out one of my workers.
Yeah, with a tossball stick, I heard you the first time. There weren't any witnesses.
No witnesses. He's not even denying it.
Jackass had it coming.
Shut it, Felix. You're not making this any better.
You get cute with me again, you little back babe rat, I will toss you out an airlock.
This is the Groundbreaker, not Byzantium. You ain't the law here. I am. Now move along.
I don't have time for this.
No. You thought I was gonna shoot him, didn't you?
Going for a stroll around the docking base?
I noticed you were in the middle of an argument earlier.
Sure was. Got a knack for upsetting the board and the Mardettes all at once. Between you and me, I was hoping they'd come to fisticuffs.
I'd like to hear your side. What happened?
I had this foreman, right? Guy never liked me, always trying to get a rise out of me. But I keep my chin up, right? Be the bigger man, I tell myself. He's a Spacer's chosen man, though. So when the Chosen beat my Rangers the other night, my foreman comes swaggering up with his head full of boasting.
And that's when you resolved your differences like an adult, right?
That's when I broadsided him with a tossball stick.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Look, this was a long time coming. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky-high foreman, and I'm just a back bay's dock worker. Well, former dock worker. Guess I just tendered my resignation.
You're just lucky you didn't not serving a sentence.
You know something? I am lucky. I ought to raise a glass of 0G to my fortune, if I had the bits. Hey, not for nothing, but I saw you wander out of that ship over there by the dock. Wouldn't happen to be yours, would it?
Why do you ask?
Oh, just musing is all. Must be nice having the run of the colony. Never being anchored to one place, always chasing some horizon. Hey, I don't want to talk your ears off, guessing you got places to be. I appreciate your time.
Never caught your name. I'm Adam HM04.
Felix Millstone. Pleased to make your acquaintance.
See you around, Felix.
See you around, boss.
And we definitely won't be seeing him in future. Uh-oh.
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
What am I doing? I'm doing whatever I want.
Oh, I guess, never mind then.
Huh. I wonder how many times you can do that. Oh, yeah. I guess you can do it as much as you want if you don't mind being hated. Yeah, always remember to steal stuff while hidden. Because then everybody likes you and you become rich. Let's see, what else we got around here? What else we're exploring? Now, if you haven't noticed, this episode's probably going to be super story-based. That's not going to be a lot of combat. I don't know what that guy's doing. Because, you know, new area.
Right this way.
We have to basically see what everything's all about. We have to see where we're finding stuff. And, you know, take a look at the Groundbreaker. See, once we got a little bit closer to all, like, the super, you know, dense areas where the sign works. So it just turns out it was supposed to do that from far away. Docking bay looks pretty nice. It didn't look nice as soon as you load it in, but once everything's all loaded, yeah, it's fine. It's a little flickering back there, but I think it's supposed to be like that. But yeah, again, this is basically my trip through the Switch version. So now here on the Groundbreaker, we'll see how everything works once we get into the main area, because there's a lot of stuff going on, and let's see if we see any slowdown. But first, we have to talk to Corporal, was that Leonard Wheeler? Joey Wheeler. Yes, Joey Wheeler.
Identification, please.
Here you go.
Captain Hawthorne, you said. Let me apologize in advance. I'm about to ruin your day. According to your ship's record, you've been flagged by the board. Your ship will be impounded until such a time as they see fit to lift it.
But we've hardly been out of Edgewater long enough to get in trouble.
Well, isn't this wonderful? The captain's done something to get on the board's bad side.
I mean, Max, good thing your hair's back to brown.
This isn't the end of the world. Probably.
Probably, so I'm stuck here?
Not stuck, per se. You could always throw yourself out the airlock. Of course, then you'd find yourself with an exciting new problem.
Any idea why my ship was impounded?
Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned down 3 promotions, so it stays that way. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our operations. If I had to take a guess as to why, you probably riled up the wrong petty board bureaucrat. Man named Udom Bedford.
Great, I'll talk to him straight away.
You take the starch out of him, well, you won't hear any complaints from me. Oh, and if you're headed that way, would you mind doing me a favor?
Sure.
Wanda Dorset over in sickbay, tell her the shipment's not in yet. It's not coming in anytime soon, and if she'd be so obliged to get off my ass about it.
Her shipment?
A handful of SAM cleaning units retrofitted for surgery. I don't know much else. I stopped listening when she started yelling.
Okay, got it.
Much appreciated.
And that'll probably help out with getting our SAM back working. I'm looking for someone named Gladys.
The fence. You'll find her in the rest and go, on your left when you enter the promenade. Make sure you bring an empty belly.
Can I find a job around here?
Maybe. Most of the shipping traffic in the system passes through Groundbreaker. Every couple of months, we even get a big interstellar freighter. Two biggest operations are the board. That is, Halcyon Holdings and Sublight Salvage. But there are independent operators around the promenade deck. Most of those jobs are going to take you off station, though.
Looking for a little bit more local, seeing as though I can't leave.
Commandant Sanita might have a couple of folks she needs killed. Bad folks, I mean. Not regular folks. She'll be at the security desk behind me. Chief Junlei might have an errand needs running. She's all tied up trying to fix our heat problem. You'll find her in engineering.
No kidding? I'd love to get a look at this old girl's innards. I bet they're real twisty and weird. In a good way.
Got it, thanks.
Happy to help. That's my job, after all.
You're real good at it, too.
Well, thank you, miss. It's nice to be recognized. Yep.
Can we move this along? I have a certain, matter I'd like to attend to, Captain.
I didn't think there was many independent operators in the system.
Relative to the board holdings? Not really. But there's a few with the means to go where they will. They aren't rich, but they aren't likely to look too close at your work history either.
How does Halcyon's holdings work anyway?
Are you pulling my leg?
I'm new around here, per se.
You must be one of them long-haul freighters from outside the colony. Well, I won't hold it against you. Goes like this. Back on Earth, before the crossing, the powers that be were selling off stakes in distant star systems they thought had potential. A bunch of companies decided to throw in together and form the Halcyon Holdings Corporation, then buy up the rights to this here colony. That group's what we now call the Board.
How does the Groundbreaker fit into it?
Groundbreaker was one of the original colony vessels to come over on the crossing, a few years before her sister ship, the Hope. Once everybody'd been de-thawed and dropped dirt side, the original crew of the Groundbreaker decided they rather liked the spacefaring life. I guess that was the start of our independent spirit. Now, here we are.
So there's actually a boardroom somewhere where all these company heads in it?
Sitting around drinking whiskey and smoking cigars, yeah, probably. Can't say for sure, of course. Doubt I'll ever see the inside of it myself.
The board runs the system, do they?
Yep. Groundbreaker's the only real independent port. Aside from us, there's just tramp freighters and wildcat miners. Seems like every year the board's offices get bigger and their ships take up more of the landing base. Haven't seen nearly as many tramp crews this year.
Got it.
Glad to help.
And what do you know about Sublight Salvage?
They strip the parts from derelict ships and abandoned outposts. There's some that say they make the derelicts and encourage folks to abandon their steads. Sublight gives me the creeps. I've known folks who went to work for them and just vanished. They're on the promenade run by a woman named Lilia Hagen. I'm only telling you so you know to avoid them. All right?
And I'm sure there is.
Be seeing you.
Well, that's all we need to know. So we have to see Udom, we have to see the security chief for some bounties. Is that you? Yes, it is.
Carry on.
No, it's not. Is it you? Can I not, like, talk to you through these holes? Oh, wait.
Unless you're here to
There
file
we
an
go.
incident report or to inquire about the bounty posting, I must kindly ask you to clear out. The Mardet's offices aren't for leisure time nor loitering.
What about the bounties?
Got a hot one for you. Captain Gunnar McRed. Just 26 hours old. The posting, that is. Not the criminal. Allegations include several counts of flying under the influence, carrying open alcoholic containers, failure to pay docking fees, resisting arrest, and assaulting not one but two officers.
Flying under the influence of illegal substance?
Swerving in the air was more like it. Then he crashed hard into the dock and tumbled out of his ship and fled on foot. Spilled Rizzo's Violet Spectrum vodka all over Officer Hartley. An affront of its own, considering none of us are approved for anything higher than green spectrum.
Any leads on where I can find him?
Last tip we got pointed toward the back bays. You want the reward? Do the legwork.
Why don't you send a Mardet to apprehend him?
Oh, I will. Soon as the chief approves the personnel reorg required for a bounty dispatch. So, in about 3 to 7 weeks.
3 to 7 weeks? I'll take the posting.
You and about 6 other enterprising mavericks. It's only a matter of time before someone brings me McRed's head. Or his lucky lighter, as proof of kill. I do hope you're the lucky hunter, though. Good luck and skip speed to you.
So it's what it's like working as security on a space station.
Do I look like your gossipy best friend? While I'm on
Fine,
post,
be that way.
I take my duties real serious.
Oh yeah,
I would
I'm
have
sure.
no qualms whatsoever escorting you to a cell. Understand?
Whoa, all right. Just trying to make conversation.
I'm not here for a chat. Now get moving before I see you moved.
What's a Mardette?
We're the security force here on Groundbreaker. Started back before the crossing, you know.
Why Mardette and not guard or officer?
The original force was made up of a Marine detachment from the 77th Marine Expeditionary Unit, Trailward Fleet. Folks started calling us Mardettes because it was easier to say. Guess it stuck.
Okay. Started smiling. Surprise, surprise. Hello, Private Lee Flores. Can I talk to you?
Hi there. Haven't seen you around before.
I was just talking to your
What can
friend.
Groundbreaker security do for you today?
Oh, is this a good cop? I'm just getting my bearings.
This is the security desk, ma'am. If you're here to report a crime, you'll want to talk to Commandant Sanita. I'm not authorized to take incident reports anymore.
I bet you got all the seized contraband from all over the system locked up back there.
Sure, and stuff from outside the system too, off the interstellar freighters. That's why we also have so many armed Mardettes on duty here.
What if some of that contraband's mine and I'm here to claim it?
That'd be awful weird. On account of you should be locked up back here too then.
Do you do, I know, tours or something?
We can't just let anyone walk in here. I wouldn't be, well, it's not... We just don't. Maybe if you clear an open bounty and get in good with Commandant Sanita, or help Chief Tennyson fix this heat, that might warrant a thank you tour or something.
Or, because we invested into Persuade, we're friends, right, Lee? Do me a favor, and I'll owe you one.
All right, I guess. In and out, though. Just try not to do any shady stuff. I'd like to keep my job.
So, what am I doing? Am I coming in?
Security. I can check the departures registry to find out which crew the scholar.
Oh, because
shipped
now
in
it's
and
not
out
restricted because I was invited in. So am I allowed to just go anywhere now? I never knew that was an option. See, you learn something new every day. What the hell is this? Steel hoop. Okay. So I'm sure we can steal all that stuff, but I think we should just get all of Max's stuff that he wants. If I can find it.
There it is.
Oh.
Just yank the drive and I'll do the rest.
Eject docking records data cartridge. Compensated goods. Pistols. Yeah, it's just magnet hoop. Prayer bread. Security logs. Sublime. Blah, blah, blah. So no clue why. Good from the Black Boys. Moon Kid. So I was just telling you where to find
Now
stuff.
that we have the data cartridge, I can finally find out where that scholar I'm looking for ended up.
That's also very good to know. Yeah, well, if you guys didn't know, you can talk to Mr. Private Lee Flores, and if you have Persuade of 45, you don't even need the shroud. You can just walk back and do whatever you want, I guess. So, there you go. Learn something new every day. If you didn't have Persuade of 45, once you do the bounty for Make Red, yeah, then they'll just let you back there too. The alternative solution, obviously, is just to use the shroud and sneak your way back there, but that could be just a little bit harder. And here's a Mardette, cartridge. So yeah, you can use the shroud now and be a Mardette and be disguised. Which is kind of funny that's just sitting there, but we already are allowed to come and go from back there, no problem. So that's great. Alright guys, let's see how this looks on the Switch version. Hopefully it's nothing like the docking bay. Okay. The lights look fine. They're kind of hard to read, I'm not gonna lie. Especially the multicolored ones, really hard to read.
Try not to be distracted by the glare of the adverts. Lots of unsavory types about.
Looks pretty good. Looks a little washed out from far away, but
Traffic's down all over. Even the inners are holding
All right.
their manufacturing.
So let's find Gladys. There she is.
Ooh, can we rent an upstairs room?
Don't ask me. Like I can just go in. Hello? Are you the old
Bless
lady I
my
need to talk to?
heart. A stranger come knocking on a poor old woman's door. You here for a particular reason? Or did the neighbors tell you how good my sugar cookies are? Made without a
Both.
single natural ingredient. Or an oven.
What?
Just like store-bought.
Oh. Phineas sent me. He said you can sell me a nav key to Stellar Bay.
Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void just for discussing such a transaction. Lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. We're outside of the board's control. For the time being, at least. Now, I only have the one nav key. And they're hard to come by these days. It won't be cheap. If you find yourself lacking in the bits, I might have an opportunity you'd be interested in.
Tell me about this opportunity.
Well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the Groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits. But if you've got qualms...
No qualms here. Let's hear the details.
Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that one. On occasion, she'll pass along transmissions I might find interesting. She sent me a recording of a distress signal she'd scraped from the Groundbreaker's comm array. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years ago.
Why was Roseway abandoned?
Can't say I know for sure. Maybe it never really was.
Sounds like someone poking into somewhere they shouldn't be got into a spot of trouble.
Comm centers don't operate themselves, Captain.
Ooh, that load.
Someone had to have sent that distress call manually.
Those corps are cleverer than all get out. Might have been a ruse to keep the rest of the board from sniffing around.
Maybe it's some sort of automated message.
Edna didn't seem to think so, and I trust the dear girl's judgment. Well, maybe not in men, but she knows her comms. So, like as not, someone's been down there recently. And if someone set up shop in Roseway, I'd wager they got something to hide.
If it's a corporate town with something to hide, why the SOS?
Maybe whatever they're hiding went to heck, and now they need a few spare hands to clean up the mess. If you should find a secret worth selling, might be I could find a buyer. Corporate bigwigs will pay top bit for inside information on their competitors. The more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time they got to meddle in our affairs.
So you need someone to snoop around for you?
My goodness, aren't you quick on the uptake? I like that. Should you find yourself responding to a certain distress call, and in so doing find yourself in possession of certain valuable corporate secrets, well, then we ought to have a chat over a pot of tea and my famous cookies.
Sure, count me in.
Law bless your atoms. Here's a copy of the SOS recording, complete with the coordinates. Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done.
What other jobs do you know about?
Might want to acquaint yourself with Junlei Tennyson, Groundbreaker's chief. She's been trying to get a handle on this heat problem we've got. You'll find her fretting in engineering. I'd say she's a sweet girl, but law forfend someone call me a liar. Anytime, sweetheart. You know where to find me.
Oh, she gave me some cookies.
Take a candy with you.
And now I'm level 8. Alright, so that was a pretty long episode right there, just getting our bearings here on the Groundbreaker. If you guys enjoyed, please hit the like, subscribe, comment down below, do all that fun YouTube-y stuff. In the next episode, we'll talk to Miss Tennyson, we'll sort out all of her problems, we'll help Gladys follow that distress signal to see what we can find, because I'm not paying $10,000. And, you know, Max's quest is sort of also on the ship, so we'll also do that in a little bit on the ship later. Pravati wants to meet Junlei, so we'll get to that as well. Again, my name has been Adam. This has been HMO4 Gaming. I thank you very much if you made it this far. This is going to be episode number 9. If you are still watching, you're the real MVP. Shout out to yourself. Give you a pat on the back and all that stuff. I greatly appreciate it. Small channel supporter, thank you very much. Yeah, so again, I've been Adam, this has been HMO4 Gaming. Thank you very much. Have a great day.